Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the KeithAndrewNetWork. It is 707. I'm here with Dorsch and Jesamine Katzman. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show once again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
No, the honor's all mine. For people who want to know what my talk show is about, whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. To prove to them you can still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. So that being said, half hour of your time, PG-13 is going to be different from the first time. I'll try to make it as different as the first time. You guys can ask each other questions, say anything you want. If there's any certain subjects you guys wanted to hit on, you're more than welcome to. So the first question I want to ask you is, how do you guys know each other?
Well, we never met in person, but we do follow each other on Instagram. And I just first saw her post, and I was like, oh my gosh, she has such amazing quotes on there, and she has such amazing photography and where she does everything. So it's really cool. I was really drawn to her Instagram.
Thank you. So what I saw from her page, I saw all the things she's been doing, and I was like, this is something I want to see every day. So I followed her after that as well.
No, absolutely. The one thing I like is about bringing people together in the network, because you guys are in the same network. You help one, you help the other. It's all about networking. How you're helping me right now, getting myself out there. Now, the next question I want to ask both of you. The new thing is for everyone who wants well, why is he interviewing two people? As I mentioned in the past, the KeithAndrewNetWork is about changing up the format. I want to interview two people at once. I want to interview 4 people at once. So it's kind of like therapy for myself. So if I ever do a speaking engagement, I have that experience of talking to multiple people. And also makes the show more interesting. The more people you have, the more fun it is. But the question I want to ask both of you is, what was I know I mentioned this in both of your interviews, but I want to go a little more in depth. Say for an example, you guys wanted to be actors. Obviously you are. What was the very first thing that you did? Was it, you had to make a Facebook? Was it something you had to join backstage? How can people follow in your footsteps? What was the very first thing that you did and make a statement? Whoever wants to go.
You can go first.
Okay. The very first thing I did was starting to take acting classes and musical theater classes. And then after that, I would just start doing plays and musicals around kind of town and everything. And then I don't know when it started changing, but then I started looking for agents and everything after I started really wanting to do it. And then that was pretty much kind of how it got on track from there.
That is pretty much that is spot on how I did it. I did musical theater class and everything, and then I got an agent in 5th grade. And I just joined, after I got an agent, I joined Actors Access, Backstage, all of that. And then I recently joined Instagram at the start of quarantine. I got a Facebook at the start of quarantine. And yeah, but I would say if anyone wants, you don't have to have an agent to book roles. Actors Access, Backstage, all of those have amazing places where you can find roles that you don't have to have an agent for. So yeah.
No, absolutely. And also, besides Backstage and Actor Access, there's actually Stage 32.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Stage 32.
Now, a lot of people want to know, because I keep finding things that fall out of the air, but it doesn't usually work out. When you find someone interesting to have them represent you, how do you know they're legit, and do you have to pay them up front? Because a lot of people say you do not pay people to represent you. So how does that clarify saying, okay, this person's real and this person's full of BS?
I'll go first. So when I first was starting to look at agencies, I didn't really I looked up modeling agencies at first. And I was looking through them, and then I started looking up TV agencies, but I wasn't really looking into them a lot. And so I'd pull one up to my mom, and I'd be like, Mom, look at this one. Like, they're getting all these actors on these shows. And then I'd find out that they were a scam because my mom would email them, and they'd ask for like $100 up front. And so I started looking around. I was like, okay, let's look around Charlotte, North Carolina. And I found Fascinating Talent, which is my agency, and it's a small boutique agency. And I had a really strong connection with Renee and Jenna, who are the main casting and the founders of Fastlane. Renee's son actually is an actor, so she's kind of like an actor mom herself. And they didn't ask for any money up front, which is a really good sign. They should never ask for money up front. They should only make money when you make money, which I think is the biggest sign. So if they ask for money up front, it's definitely a scam.
No, absolutely. What about you, Jasmine?
That was going to be pretty much what I was going to say. Like, usually when they ask for money up front, it's not that, it's probably not that, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's probably a scam. And also, like, if they're saying, like Nickelodeon and, like, Disney auditions, like, all together, that's also going to probably be a scam because that doesn't exactly kind of, like, coincide with each other. But, yeah.
No, first off on the subject, Nickelodeon and Disney are competitions. So it's kind of like, why would you have both? I mean, it makes sense have them in the same building. Okay, go to floor A, that's for Disney. Floor C is for something else. But having it in the same room, it's kind of like, yeah, that's a little of a conflict of interest. For me, I've been doing this for 7.5 years, as you guys know. And I have interviewed, people like, oh, I represent, not missing any names, I represent this person. Now I got them in Jurassic World, and I can get you in this film or whatever. But the thing was, like, tip one was a red flag where he said, okay, where are you based? Florida. Huh. Well, there's nothing really big in Florida that much. I mean, a lot of people make jokes about Florida, but there's certain areas that you need to look for. New York, especially New York City, because the expression, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Theoretically, so that's what I was told. I'm a New Yorker, so that hasn't happened yet, so wishful thinking. And LA. So, but then you're like, oh, you can come to Florida. I'm like, okay, I have no problem. I don't like the Bermuda Triangle. You can get to that in a couple of minutes. But it's kind of like Florida. It's like, name someone who's a big star. Who the hell are in Florida? Okay, The Rock, Miami, Florida, big deal, But he was a wrestler. But there's certain things. But the key one is that all these people have in common. Pay me money up front. And I don't, bullshit with them, and I don't try to guilt trip them. It is PG-13. You can say whatever you want. I don't try to guilt trip people. It's kind of like saying, I'm short on money. Oh, that's okay. Give me $50. If you can give me $50, at least do something. And I try to work around that. Like, how about this? Book me a gig. If you can get me on TV, radio, if you get me out there, okay, I know you're legit. And they're like, oh, well, there's always with big agencies, there's always this big, fee up front. And as you guys have said, as my brother said to me, and my parents said, you do not pay people to represent you until you're making money. So it's easy to find a scam artist. I'll give me an example real fast and I'll pass it over to you. For me, when I introduce myself, I use LinkedIn. And I would introduce myself to certain people on LinkedIn, Facebook, and as you guys know, Instagram. And they're like, oh, well, okay, we're going to check how you work. This one guy said to me, oh, it's great what you're doing, but we think you're a scam. I was like, all right, I've been doing this for 7.5 years. What do you want to see? Well, do you have any interviews or you're on TV? Yep. A year ago this time, funny enough, I was interviewed by New York City, let's see, what was it? Manhattan Neighborhood of Broadcasting. I showed them the interview. It's on my website. Well, how do you know that's just like a green screen or anything? And it's just stupid pity and stupid things. Okay, go look at my recommendations. I have 100 and something recommendations. And then I have a list of 700 episodes. So I have a list of people, I have recommendations, I have videos. So unless this is a pretty good scam, in fact, it's not by any stretch of the imagination, I have solid proof of 7.5 years. But there's a lot of bullshit artists out there. There's a lot of con people. My grandfather says a sucker's born every day or every minute. A fortune teller. You ever see a fortune teller? The joke is like, she saw you coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many of those things that you're kind of like, it's ridiculous. But I'm going to ask you guys the next question. Out of all the favorite TV shows that you watch, it could be Blue Bloods, iCarly, Miley Cyrus, what were some of your top 3 shows that you really wanted to be a part of? Whoever wants to start.
Would you like to go first?
Sure. I would say I love Modern Family. I think Modern Family and The Office are really similar in the way that they're set up with like the interviews and everything. So I think that like the Modern Family Office kind of realm of that like comedy I think is really cool. And another one is I like Grey's Anatomy. It's so funny because I don't like anything medical, but watching a like medical show to me is just awesome. I don't know why. So I think probably Modern Family, Grey's Anatomy, and then another one that I feel like no one would ever think is Sherlock Holmes on PBS. It's a TV show with Benedict Cumberbatch. I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. I think the way it's written is brilliant. And I would have so loved to be a part of that. So I think those 3. You can go.
I would like love to be like a part of Supernatural because that is like one of my favorite shows. That would be so cool. Like that'd be amazing. And then I'm trying to think of more because I don't really watch. I like watch a lot of like TV shows, but there's like some that I like watching, but I would just like to watch and not be a part of it. But I remember when I was younger, I loved Henry Danger so much. Like it was crazy. So I probably would love to be a part of that. And then I loved Casey Undercover and I just started rewatching it again. I would love to be a part of that too. That'd be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Are you guys fans of Stargirl?
I haven't seen it yet, but I know someone. I know a person who knows a person that's in it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Ooh.
If we're thinking about the same person, I think you're talking about the one who does Mike, the brother, right?
Oh, it might be, yeah.
It's funny. I actually reached out to Boston, and I said, "Oh, a big fan of Stargirl. Love to have you on here." We're still playing phone tag and everything, but having the cast of Stargirl on the show would be really fantastic for me. And not just Stargirl. I actually interviewed people from Blue Bloods. That's one of the shows I wanted to be a part of. Suits, I'm still working on. I had a crush on Megan. And as you know now, or Rachel in the show, Megan is actually married to, what was his name? He's the Prince of England, Prince Harry.
Oh yeah, Meghan Markle. She's, yeah.
It's
yeah.
knock on wood, good for her. She's married into royalty. So, Suits and Blue Bloods. And recently, I was thinking, what show would be really funny? Even though I have a dry sense of humor, as you guys can pick that up, what show would be kind of good for me to do? And I was thinking, it's either Seinfeld or Big Bang Theory. And I was thinking, what? I really like the Big Bang Theory.
That's a good show. I like it.
I love that show.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to have fun with this. Now, as you guys know, I mentioned on the Keith Andrew Network, we're going to have special acts on the show. The thing is, I've been fighting with YouTube because, Jasmine, you did Dead Mom, and they got crazy because, you had audio in the background. And then I think you did a song too, but there was something about the lyrics. So going forward, I'm kind of putting that on hold by saying if there was a group of people in the same exact room, okay, then we can do something. But I'm trying to steer away from the whole music thing. And, Jasmine, you said, what's the big deal? They flag your account. This is my second YouTube account. And because the first one I had, I'm a big fan of Toys R Us. And I'm like, let's make the Keith Andrew Network real and more authentic. So as I said, we're going to take a commercial break. During that break, I would say, here's my favorite commercial of something from 30 years ago. And like, you're using copyrighted material. So due to YouTube's crappy copyright material, funny enough, Facebook hasn't really given me a hard time because both of you are on there with your acts, and they haven't really said anything, knock on wood. So as far as YouTube go, we're going to stay away from that. But I am probably going to use it for Facebook. But yes, I will have more certain acts on there, but we have to make sure they're not copyrighted. And hey, you know what? If YouTube takes down my account again, who cares? I'm paying for my website. I'm going to put it on my website. So anyway, just venting because of my frustration on YouTube. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back with the last 10 minutes, we're going to have something very special. Both of you are going to ask me any questions you want and ask each other any questions when we come back.
Hi guys, my name is Kat Johnston.
This is Donna Drake.
This is Kayleen.
Hi, my name is Kara Svucek.
I'm Julia Brothers.
Jenna Curtis.
Hey, I'm Jenny Fine.
Hi, it's Mimi Chin.
Hi, my name is Ella Dorsch.
My name is Shauna Toth.
Hey guys, I'm Anastasia Edwards.
Hi, this is Jackie Nunez.
Actress Becky Hayes.
Hi, I'm Amelia Rose.
Hey there, I'm Saki Mieta.
Hi guys, I'm Alexandria Denise, and you're watching Keith Andrews' show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Ella Dorsch and Jesamine Katzman, and say thank you for being a guest once again on the Keith Andrew Network. It's a real honor and privilege.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, absolutely. Now I'm going to pass the show over to Miss Ella. You can say anything you want, uncensored, freedom of speech, self-expression. Keep in mind it is PG, PG-13. But yes, you do have the right to say whatever you want. So do you have any subjects or questions you want to ask me or Jasmine? And Jasmine, when it's your turn, you can do the same exact thing.
I was just going to ask, Jasmine, what are some of your dream roles that you want to play in musical theater or in film?
Okay, so I love Bonnie and Clyde. Like that is my everything. But as I would love to be like Bonnie, I just don't think that would be like the right role for me. So I can't remember the name, but it's Clyde's like sister-in-law who's married to his brother. But I can't remember her name. But I love that role. Like, I would love to play that.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. And kind of like for like TV shows, I'm not sure, but there's not like a specific like show I would like to be a part of, but I would just kind of like a horror like TV show that kind of like is just like spooky in general. Like, I would love that.
Oh, I'm so scared of horror movies. I just, But that's cool if you're into it. I'd get way too scared.
But if I may real fast, you did mention you like medical shows. So how is that any different from horror? If you like blood and medical shows, I guess you like blood and horror too, right?
I think it's the I don't think it's like the gory part of horror. I think it's just like the suspense. Like, I don't know, just like it gets me every time. And like the surprise scares, like I can't do it. But my dad and my brother are huge fans of horror movies, and they always watch them. So whenever I come downstairs, I just gotta shield my eyes and go to the kitchen. But
What about you, Jasmine?
Question?
Yep, you can ask anything, talk about anything you want.
Just what are your guys's like both of you like kind of like what is your like favorite like genre of music to listen to?
I listen to so many different genres. I don't think I could pick one, but if I had to pick my top two, would probably be like 70s disco, and probably like 1940s swing band. I know they're really different, but I listen to like a lot of different types of music because I don't know. Those are just the two that like just make me feel like I'm in like a good mood all the time.
For me, I would say rock, classic rock, metal, country, a little rap. I'm not into the whole yo-yo-yo thing, but if it has a good beat to it and a good melody, you know, for an example, I like the 50 Cent song, The Club. You know, I like that one. I like Eminem. You know, funny, I'm actually used to be a John Cena fan. You know, I used to wear my hat backwards and with a chain, you know, with the jersey, you know, trying to be cool. But if it has a good beat to it, I will actually listen to anything. But certain things that stand out, and this is the next question for you guys, what bands do you like? For me, I like Rush, Queen, Zeppelin, you know, Frank Sinatra. I know how you go from Rush to Frank Sinatra. That's like a big jump. Iron Maiden. So there's certain groups, if it has a good vibe to it, I actually just take to it. What about you guys?
You can go first.
My favorite band is probably ABBA. It's either ABBA or ABBA. I don't know how to say it, but I love ABBA. Mamma Mia is like one of my favorite musicals. I love any ABBA songs. They're just really, I don't know. They're really like such a bop, and like I feel like I can dance to it. And then if I'm not listening to ABBA, it's probably like Frank Sinatra, Edith Piaf, who's like a French singer, or the Penguins, who was like a doo-wop group. So probably those.
I love ABBA too. Like that.
So good.
Those songs, they're amazing. I just love it. I remember listening to Gimme Gimme like the first time, and I was like, okay. It was just so fun. And I really like listening to like Paramore and like Set It Off, Get Scared, like kind of all of those. And then there was one band that it's called Survive Said the Prophet, and they're a Japanese Japanese like rock band, and I love it so much because like I don't know what they are saying, but I feel the like emotions in it, and I just love when that like the music itself can move me and not just like the lyrics. I love that so much.
That's amazing.
And the next question I want to ask you, going back to the acting, is I know I mentioned this in the beginning, but in the last episode, but I want to hint on this because it's the theme of the concept of the show. It's besides me, obviously, and I thank you for that. Have you worked with people with disabilities, and are you willing to work with people with disabilities? That's my first question.
I really haven't worked with people with disabilities other than, of course, you, Keith. But growing up, I was always at my elementary school. We had three of my closest friends all had Down syndrome, and they were just such amazing girls, and actually they were all really into like singing and dancing, and so we'd perform. We'd have like singing competitions at recess, and we'd perform, and it was really amazing. So I've grown up with people with disabilities, but I haven't worked with anyone other than Keith, that I would really love to, because I think it's so amazing, your message. And I feel like a lot of people with disability have the same message. And so I feel like working with them would be amazing.
So I also had like a really close friend of mine that also had Down syndrome, and she was in drama with me for like years, and she still is. And I love her so much, and she's like a delight to be with and just have fun with. And I haven't like just like in like the working like field and everything, I haven't really like acted with anybody like with any like disabilities and everything, or I have and I just didn't know at the time, but I would definitely work with them.
No, absolutely. It's always about giving people an opportunity, giving them a chance. For me, I had to create my own opportunities because I mentioned this in the past. I call it the boomerang effect. And when I was in high school, I threw it. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. People will feel sorry for me. I can use the sympathy card. I can get out of things like, oh, I don't have to do this. I'm stupid, or I have a disability. But yet, at the same time, when it comes back and whacks you in the head, if you don't catch a boomerang, that's what happens. You realize that you just labeled yourself, and people will remember you as, oh, you're the kid that said you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. So it's not good to label yourself and put labels on anything. So hint of the show, hashtag break the labels. For me, I like to create opportunities. I created my own show out of thin air. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of using my disability as a crutch, as a weakness. I'm going to show you with a learning disability, look at what I'm able to accomplish. And for 7.5 years, officially, 707 episodes. Unofficially, I did 372. Don't get me started on that. Just, it's long story short of, I met certain people that at the time, who says seen, that seemed nice, but at the time they were assholes because they would say, for an example, yeah, my episode with you on YouTube isn't getting a lot of views. My agent said, my publicist said, I know, I didn't deal with kids back then, so you guys are the start. My agent said, my publicist said, you're not getting views, I'm not getting acting roles. Can you take it down? We don't want to be seen with people like you. It's degrading. Now I actually have a lawyer friend. It's like whoever provokes you or makes idle threats, point him in their direction. Like, well, it's been 2-3 years, and you guys signed a permission form, and like I said, you have 30 days. 30 days, if you change your mind, you want to redo it, you want to take it down, whatever. These people like to come out of these imaginary comas out of 2, 3, 4, 5 years and say, yeah, 5 years ago we did an episode, I'm not getting any acting roles, I'm not getting any sympathy from it, or whatever stupid excuses you want to use. You're like, oh, take it down. So yes, I did 372 of those. I wish I didn't meet half of those people, but the point is about networking, you're going to meet a lot of good people, and you're going to meet a lot of shitty people. As you guys are, you some are great people, and I'm very thankful for meeting you. As you're going to grow down the road in life, there's certain people that you're going to meet are legit and phony. And I can write a book about, how many phony people I had to deal with since I was your age. It's funny. I made this quote, a little post on one says, I just did it for fun. I just wanted to see what people would say. It's like, do you think Keith Andrew has more real friends or phony friends? And taking a guess, you probably know what the answer to that was. But like I said, it is what it is. But the last question I want to ask you is for someone or anyone with learning disabilities and disabilities wants to be a singer, follow in your footsteps. For an example, I'm not really an expert of reading a script. Right here, I just have like a list of questions. But for me, it takes a long time for me to read it unless I know it already. But say someone, well, this one's for you, Jasmine, because you're a singer. If someone wants to sing, but they're not really the best singer, what would be your words of advice for them? And Ella, for people who want to be an actor, what would your advice be for someone who's not really reads a script?
So my words of advice for like singing and everything is that just keep practicing over and over again. Don't let anything hold you back. Just keep practicing, because I wasn't. I still don't really like my voice in general, but I keep going and just keep practicing and getting like more lessons and everything. And it's slowly getting better. But yeah, just keep going for it. Don't let anybody like put you down and be like, that you kind of suck at singing. No, just keep going.
Well, first of all, Jasmine, you sound absolutely amazing. Like, I wish my voice sounded like that, but there's so many types of acting. I am actually really bad at memorizing scripts. Like, I'm really bad at it. So what really helped me was improv, which I'm not really good at, but doing improv really helped me think on my toes, and it made me think and like memorize faster. But I mean, I would say what Jasmine said, which is just keep practicing, and there's something special in each and every one of us that makes us stand out. And whether you can't read a script or you can't memorize it as fast as other people, it doesn't matter. If you have the talent and the drive and the passion and the emotion, and you're willing to put in all the hours, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what setbacks you have, you'll make it and you'll go far. And I believe in you. So, yeah, that's my word.
I do have a tip on like helping like memorizing lines a lot like quicker. So how I learn like long paragraphs is just kind of like each sentence. I just memorize each sentence like one at a time, and I just keep going like back to it and like over and over again. And then also if I can't like get it that way, I just kind of like I sing like the whole paragraph, and then I can just like mentally like play like not the music, but like the notes in my head, and so I can remember it.
No, see, that's awesome. Just like finding your own unique ways how you memorize is just, I mean, that's really acting, is just finding how it makes you strong and finding your strengths.
No, absolutely. Now I do have a couple questions for you guys off the air. But wrapping up, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
I'm looking on my Instagram because I always forget it. Okay, got it. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. It's _Ella Dorsch _actor.
And you can find me on Instagram and Facebook under Jesamine Katzman _official.
No, absolutely. No worry. Once we talk to commercial break, our Instagrams will be on the bottom of the screen. Wrapping up on our show, when I first approached you guys to do the show once again for a double interview, and let me once clarify one thing for our listeners. I love doing double interviews, because I have ADD, ADHD, so my mind kind of wanders. I'll give you an example. I used to play wrestling games, and I used to do single matches. Those get boring after a while. So I used to do triple threat matches. The reason I like triple threat matches so much and fatal four-ways, especially triple matches, is there's so much going on, so you're not focusing on one person for like that amount of time. You get to bounce your energy off of multiple people, and it's more an stimulating environment. I have tried doing double interviews before, and thanks to you, you're part of that. I call it tag team, so tag team interviews. But there's other people who are like, oh, hey, we're going to do an interview today at 4. I'm like, all right. Oh, by the way, I actually booked someone with you. Oh, whoa, you're unprofessional, and you said you were going to have me on your show. Why are you going to book me with this person? So I'm really happy you guys then, do like a cat fight and say, well, I don't want to be on the show with her, and she's not here. It's like, I'm the host, so if I want to do double interviews, it's not got to be a big debate. But it's really childish how you have, say, for example, wrapping up, two actors. I'm like, well, you both are actors. You're in the entertainment business. Well, you didn't tell me it was going to be a double interview. I don't have to tell you a damn thing. It's my show. If I want to do a double interview, I'm going to do a double interview. If I want to do something like Bill Maher does, or like a round table, and have two other people join us, probably next time, there you go. It's where people feel like they're not in control. And I'm not saying I'm a control freak or anything, even though some people say I am. But it's kind of like, why do you have to, dictate around the other people? But anyway, that's another subject for another time. But the point is, when I first approached you the second time to do a double interview, what was your first honest opinion about being back on the wonderful Keith Andrew Network, and what made you say yes?
I first saw it on my Instagram. I was actually filming an audition, and my mom told me. And I was like, I'm so down. I love this show, and I love talking to you. And I was like, great, now I get to talk to one of my friends, Jesamine, who I haven't met, but we follow each other on Instagram. My couch just moved. But I was like, it's going to be awesome, because I think having friends in the industry is really, really important, and having allies. And I didn't even realize we have so much in common. I didn't even realize that. So that's kind of incredible. And I never would have known that if it wasn't for the show today. So I appreciate it, and I was really excited.
Yeah. When I got the message to do the interview today with Ella, I was like, wait, Ella? And I was really excited, because also we haven't really met in person, and I was just really excited to get to talk with both of you guys, because my interview skills are not that good. And so just having somebody else also to bounce off of and to continue the conversation really helped.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say same. And I was really nervous. I was like, what if she doesn't like me and all that? But now, we have a lot in common. So same. I'm not good at interviews, but having a friend here was really helpful and awesome. So thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking from experience, doing this for 7.5 years, and I want to do this to the day I die. I'm not saying that to be funny, but that's how passionate I am. If you go, I'll give you an example. Go to my channel for everyone here and everyone watching. Make sure to subscribe to the Keith Andrew Network on YouTube and Facebook, KeithAndrewNetwork.com. You can watch season 1, how someone like me, I did not want to be seen. And I had horrible interviewing skills, and I was just throwing questions left and right. But you can see the process from 2013 all through the years to now. I have gotten more comfortable with myself. I like making new friends. And if multiple people have the same energy, it feels comfortable. If somebody who you're interviewing, I'm guilty of this too, who's one-sided, so it's kind of like pulling teeth out of their mouth and you're making them talk. I give you an example, wrapping up real fast. I interviewed Ron Reisman, God rest his soul. Ron Reisman was from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He did Roar Zed. So we would act about acting. Oh, I did this and I did that. Great, great, great. But as soon as he said, okay, housewife growing up, he's like, okay, good, great. Wonderful. And I'm like, okay, well, what about something else? What do you think about this subject? Okay, great, wonderful. And I'm like, it's 10 minutes. I can't do another 10 more minutes. So if someone has full of energy and they want to be there, it's great. You're going to have a wonderful time. I know it's going to be a long episode, but you're going to have a great time. If there's someone that you kind of like not speaking, it's like, do I have to pull the string on the back and make you speak or something? It's kind of like you're wasting your time. But wrapping up, I do have questions for you guys off the air. It was a real honor and privilege having you back on as part 2, and I'm looking forward to this down the road.